Well, we now have more details from the Tempe, Arizona Police Department, which held a press conference last night. And what happened was this: an Uber autonomous vehicle was driving about 40 miles per hour when it struck a pedestrian, 49-year-old woman, Elaine Herzberg, on Sunday night. A safety driver was behind the wheel, but the vehicle, a Volvo SUV, was traveling in autonomous mode at the time. And the police department says that it showed no signs of stopping. Now, the National Transportation Safety Board is conducting an investigation into the accident, and Uber has halted all of its self-driving private pilot programs, across the United States. So that's in Pittsburgh, Phoenix, Toronto, and San Francisco. Now, guys, there have been a number of less serious accidents involving autonomous vehicles, but this is the first known pedestrian fatality by one. So this is another crisis for Uber, but it also could have wide-ranging implications for this emerging industry, one that is still growing, one that is expected to be worth as much as $7 trillion one day, and one in which every major car company and major tech company and a number of startups are making very big bets on. Now, it also comes at a time when regulators are trying to find a balance between public safety and letting this technology develop. The promise of this technology is that it's supposed to eliminate human error, make the roads safer, and save lives, as well as reduce costs. And guys, that may be a more difficult proposition by this industry given the latest accident. Back to you.
Deirdre, some of the things that we'd heard was, this woman came out of nowhere. She was right in the middle, but came from nowhere. It was really dark. When you hear somebody say things like that, and it's a human who's driving, you assume that maybe they weren't paying attention, the human driver. Maybe there was texting taking place while that was happening. How does the technology work, and can you understand anything behind what may have gone wrong?
Absolutely. That's a really good point. I heard you guys talking about this earlier. The police department did say that the woman was not walking at a crosswalk. And yes, a human driver may have caught something like this. But the only way that this technology gets better, and this is the problem for regulators, is by testing it out on public roads. So you have a company like Waymo, big player in the space, that has racked up 4 million miles as of the end of last year. Uber, about 2 million miles as of the end of last year. And they've had one fatality, which is incredibly serious. But you look at some of the other accidents in California where they're required to track them, there have been about 60 accidents. Many of them have actually been caused by a human error, either a human in another car bumping into a stopped or slowing autonomous vehicle, or when a human, that safety driver, has to take the reins. So these are all, big, and they're philosophical questions.
That's what I mean.
To answer.
Like with the situation with Tesla, with the fatality down in Florida, where the guy was on an autonomous vehicle drive. A semi-tractor trailer drove across, and it was something about the glare from the sun that didn't let the monitoring systems pick it up. I just don't understand how the technology works. Because, look, I've had situations where I was driving and somebody stepped out into the road wearing all black at night, and you can't see them. But I don't understand how Uber's technology works. Is it trying to sense things, and the woman stepped in at the last second? Or I guess that's what they have to figure out in the investigation.
Yeah, it's a good point, Becky. And we are going to get more information, because remember, there are sensors all over. There were sensors all over this particular vehicle, this Volvo SUV. So one of the things that we can do from this accident, or Uber and the authorities can do, is analyze exactly what happened, who was at fault here. And I know you bring up the Tesla case, which was, the technology was not found to be at fault, but these are questions that the industry has to navigate.
That's with an asterisk. I went back and reread everything from Tesla yesterday. The technology was not found to be at fault because you're always supposed to have an attentive human driver who's supposed to catch any of these things. And I think that kind of lulls us into the sense when you have, an automatic driver mode, doesn't mean you can't be paying attention.
Becky, I also think that the big question here that could have real implications from this case in particular are the regulations surrounding this. The reason that so many companies are testing autonomous vehicles in Arizona is because there are so few regulations. They don't even have to submit a lot of the information, whereas in a place like California, which Uber actually last year left to do testing in Arizona, they're now in California as well. They require accident reports and a lot more information. And also, next month, they're expected to allow cars on the road, self-driving cars, without that safety driver. So who knows if that's going to happen at this point.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.